confrontational. I want peace, just not at the cost of my silence. Speak up. Through the hood, I keep hearing people say I'm supposed to die tonight. They can't destroy what they ain't built in the first place. So I'm finna ride tonight. I went from a truth seeker to truth speaker. Truth through the booth, your Bluetooth and your coupe speakers. Yeah. Run up in here, I cut an ear. I'm too Peter. I bucket fear, I chuck a spear like Lou Peter. They love it here, I hate it here. They murder babies and pervert the children and make it here. It's getting crazy, everybody claiming they gangster here. And everybody feel it, but nobody is saying here. This God over money, so I say what I want, dog. Your favorite rapper don't need too afraid to be broke, dog. You lose your career pissing in folk off. But you can call black women hoes and kill all the black men that you want, dog. And I don't care if you hate that, I could take that. But stop claiming you real, knowing you hate facts. Sad thing is how fast you could diss a black queen and turn around and walk on eggshells for a drag queen. Bizzle, this what you wanted? I never came for the smoke. If it gotta go down, let's get it poppin'. And see, that really ain't what I want. If it gotta go down, let's get it poppin'. You can't muzzle me, dog. I say what I want. And if it gotta go down, let's get it poppin'. I really love peace, but I'm ready for the war. So if it gotta go down, let's get it poppin'. World full of fake news.
I was muted. Listen, I am all over the place today, so bear with me. Okay. I didn't mean to just mute it. I wanted to have a nice transition and bring myself on. I hope you guys like that song. If you don't know who that is, that's Bizzle. And he's a dope Christian rapper. And that song talks about what we're all experiencing today as Americans. When you're being censored, people want you to conform to what they believe in, but you believe in what you believe in. It's all crazy. But welcome. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for joining another episode of Make America Think Again. This is on YouTube as well. So a shout out to Cash. We love you, man. We miss you out here. I texted him the other day. He didn't respond, so hopefully we'll hear from him soon. But Cash is good because I know a lot of people like updates. They like to hear how Cash is doing. Hold on, let me turn this heater off. Sorry. It was kind of cool in here, so I had the heat on. But Cash is good. Okay? For everybody wondering, Cash is amazing. What's up to all the street lights? What's up to all the primetime patriots? Everybody that's pushing the Make America Think Again movement. Thank you, because you guys actually help me, help myself get this great message out. So if you could do me a favor and share, because we're being censored and shadow banned like a mug on YouTube as well as Facebook. So please do me a favor. There is over 200 of you watching total. All of you hit the share button right now. All right, let's do a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Hit the share button. I should see a bunch of shared. How's everybody doing today? Thank you. I'm glad you look forward to the shows, Becky. I look forward to doing every show I do. I look forward to doing. I love being here with you guys. It means a lot. Sheer, he just messaged me a few minutes ago and said hi. He loves everyone. Primetime Patriots. We love you too. We love you too, Cash. Oh, we got a good question. We got a good question here. I'm going to pull this up. Guys, today, this episode, we're going to talk about cyberbullying. And it's crazy that I even have to have this conversation with adults. Isn't that insane? Conversations that you had to have, like when we were all younger and somebody bullied us, you had to have that conversation with a kid. But you would think that adults know, hey, let's not pick on other people because they might think differently or they say something different or they don't look like you, they don't act like you, Who cares? Accept people for who they are, but we have bullies that are in the world and they can't help themselves. So this episode is special because my fellow patriot, Kaylee, she did a show and people are just not kind. You know, people weren't kind the other day in the comments when she gave her opinions on Matt Gaetz. So I think this show is going to be vital. It's going to be a learning experience because cyberbullying is a thing. All right. Cyberbullying is a thing. Keyboard warriors. Whoo. And I'm going to answer the question, is dragging the same thing as cyberbullying? I think so. Because when we say drag, we mean that, yo, they took you through it. Like they went there. They went there. They said a lot of things that they probably shouldn't have said. But sometimes it's the truth. So it depends on what type of dragging you're doing. Maybe we shouldn't label it dragging and we should just call it telling the truth. That might work. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comment section. Should we call it dragging or call it, saying the truth? Sometimes it's just dragging. You put somebody, take them through the mud. But other times, it's just you telling the truth. I'm going to pull up a few statistics about cyberbullying. Okay. And then we're going to get into my commentary about it. I have a few questions. This is why I call it Make America Think Again. I have questions because I want to know where people's mindsets are when it comes to this. Here's my first question. Do you believe that cyberbullying is a thing? And I'll let you guys answer it. So these are the statistics. And this website, it's called broadbandsearch.com, and it's a blog site. And they keep track of all of the cyberbullying statistics from, I think it's from 2015 to 2020. 2015 and 2020. And so far, they have come to the realization that 42% of cyberbullying happens on Instagram, 37% Facebook, 31% Snapchat, 12% WhatsApp, 10% YouTube. I'm going to have to say YouTube is right up there with Instagram and Facebook, if not more. It's probably a higher percentage. And I'll have to throw Twitter up there too. I think WhatsApp and Snapchat would be the two that I don't operate those systems. So who knows? But these are the statistics. I see everybody saying, yes, cyberbullying is a thing. It absolutely is. And what we don't talk about is how much it affects adults on the internet. Now, let's be honest, right? Not everybody doesn't have the I don't give a damn attitude. I have that attitude. I don't care. Either you like what I have to say or you don't. And if you don't like it, then cool. I might just go back and forth with you in the comments just to give you some attention. But that's about it. Do the comments get to me? No. What I will say is what gets to me are the hateful messages of people saying something that's absolutely not true about you. That irritates me. Don't lie and say that I'm one way when I'm actually not. Do you guys remember? So we're going to jog our memories. We would have assemblies. Sometimes they'd be award assemblies. You had the Christmas show, the spring show, the fall show, where, the music show where you got together at school. And then you always had something where your school spoke on bullying prevention. What happened to that? I've been out of school for over 10 years now, but while I was in school, all those bullying assemblies, those meetings where people would come to your school and talk to you about bullying and say how it's not right, and schools have a zero bullying policy. Why don't we have that for the internet? Why don't we bring up real statistics of people that are actually affected by things called cyberbullying? We did it in school. We had assemblies. We had talent shows. We had spring shows, the musical shows. But now we don't even talk about something as simple. Listen, everybody is on the internet. Everybody's on the internet. Why isn't cyberbullying something major? Kids are now in school over the internet. Cyberbullying is occurring. I'm going to show you the age groups. Ooh, I don't think I have the age groups. Dang. Now, what I will say, these statistics and percentages are what they are. People are entitled to feel how they feel. So I'm not going to vouch and say I know exactly it's 36% because it could be a lot less or it could be way more. Who knows? But 36.5% of people feel like they have been cyberbullied in their lifetime. And 17.4% have reported it. It has happened at some point in the last 30 days. Why do adults cyberbully? We heard how it's bad to bully in those assemblies we used to have back in the day. It was wrong. And somewhere along the line, you had more sympathy for the bully than you had for the victim, if that makes sense. That makes sense. Now you pay much more attention to, okay, well, the bully might be going through something, so they're acting like this. There's no excuse for people, especially adults. There's no excuse for you getting on the internet and using the internet as your punching bag, especially people that don't even know you or like total strangers. Total strangers. You don't even know these people. And I'm going to look at the comments and pull some up because I know some people right now are saying some rude things. Hold on. Let me find one. I've seen a few of them. This is not a cyberbullying comment, but you're literally tuning into a podcast that centers around talking on topics that make people think. This is not the news. This is also an example of how adults don't know how to control themselves. I'm pulling up comments because this is a podcast too. I'm pulling up comments. I'm sitting here talking about bullying, cyberbullying, how it's a thing, how people are affected. And the only thing this dude can say is, I guess there's no news. No. It's called Make America Think Again. Hello. See? Here we go. I think that's, and you're not cyberbullying, but this is a good comment. I think that some influencers incite by giving strong opinions. In other words, don't put your opinions on the internet if they're really strong, if you don't want people to come at you and say something. My opinions are very strong. That doesn't give anybody the right to say ignorant stuff like commenting on people's looks. Saying, like, making ignorant comments like, oh, this is boring. You're wasting your time. Stop talking. Shut up. Like people that just go constantly back to back to back to back to back with nothing constructive to say. Nothing constructive to say. Those are bullies. And I know, I'm with you, Kaylee. You can just give your opinion. Like straight up give your opinion and say what you think about something, and somebody's going to attack you for your opinion. It's a thing on the internet and it's out of control. Like completely out of control. I have some more graphics I'm going to pull up. I put a bunch in I saved them. Here we go. So this is what the US looks like right now. In total, 95% of teens are connected to the internet. Now, this is not just teens. This is adults too. 85% are social media users, according to the Pew Research Center. And this is the same research center that collects the gun violence data. I think they've done some stuff on COVID-19 too. They're pretty reputable. So let's just say, what percent would you give to adults? I'll let you guys answer some questions. It says 95% of teens. Now, what percent would you give to adults that interact and spend a lot of time on the on social media? What percentage would you give adults? I'm gonna say I think it's right there with teens, if not more. I'm gonna wait for you guys to comment. This is an interactive show today. So we got 75%. Okay. 96%. 80%. 60. 95 to 98%. I would say 85. I think I'm gonna agree with Christopher when we say 78% because there's a lot of people that, especially older people, and there's a lot of adults our age that don't necessarily use the internet. Like they're good on. What the freak is that? Can you guys hear that? Oh my God. I'm sorry. That's like piercing my ears. I can't focus. Ooh, let me mute this. I'm sorry. That was bad. That really hurt my ears. Something happened to my husband's computer. Oh, whew, that hurt. Sorry, I'm back. 88%. Okay. I'm going to go at 75% of adults are on the internet. And out of that 75, I'm going to say 50% of those are people who are just bored with nothing to do, cyber bullies. Everybody can hear it. Fire alarm. No, it wasn't a fire alarm. Okay. I'm going to read some of your comments because, like I said, I want this to be an interactive show. Ew, I'm sorry, Amy. I hope your head doesn't get affected too much. I'm sorry. Okay. I think if you were a bully as a kid, they'd probably be a bully as an adult. Maybe. Whew, that just messed up my whole train of thought. What's up, Casey? At least 80%. You're my talk radio for now. Okay. So we have 80% on the internet. A good 57% people just sit on here and bully. Here is my observation on why it's so prevalent now. So I spent time looking at Kaylee's comments, and then I went to Candace Owens, her Twitter. I went to YouTube and I looked at different people. I did liberals too. And for the liberal influencers, they have more people supporting than people attacking them for their views. When you look at the conservative side, and I'm going to throw Christianity in here too, because I looked at some Christians too. You see a lot more people calling you stupid. Your Jesus doesn't exist. Why are you talking about this? You're brainwashed. You're a Trump supporter. Go kill yourself. Like, these are real comments that I'm seeing on the internet. Real comments. And it's only aimed towards a certain demographic. You have to ask why. Why is it so bad for people, or how do I say it? This is a organic, real show. This is not something that I scripted to the T. None of my shows are scripted, but this is more of me freestyling. Why don't we want to talk about this? We have all the space in the world to talk about social justice issues And the SJWs talk about hate, intolerance, bullying, but they only talk about it when it comes to trans. But when it comes to Christian, conservative, straight, anything good, anybody that believes in something, they completely turn off blinders or turn on blinders and ignore the fact that you're still a human. I think the media and the left has done a good job of dehumanizing us, because a lot of people think that we're just all crazy ass conspiracy theories and we believe in nonsense. That's the going tone right now. And then you add that, so you have the left already going in. Then you add in conservatives that claim to be conservatives that are not really conservative, that get in on the bullying as well. What is it that you want? What's going to stop you from getting on the internet and feeling like it's your place to degrade somebody or put somebody down? And why is this not a conversation? I'm looking at my comments now. I'm looking at all the comments that are on here now. I don't see any trolls, any bullies. I see people here agreeing. Do you target certain people? What is it? Media has brainwashed them all. I'm so upset about all this noise. I got jets flying over. I got helicopters, planes, everything. Richard, come on now. You just got to blow off the trolls. Have pity on the ignorant. Never take it personal. That's fine. But when it gets to just mean, hateful things, at some point you need to address it. Not everybody has that tough skin and strong will to just say, look, these people are obviously going through something. I don't care. They take it personal. So there's not a one size fits all solution to this. This requires somebody actually sitting and taking the time to talk about it. I agree. Lack of God. I'm looking at all these. Some people just aren't happy unless someone else is miserable. Facts, misery loves company. Most bullies do target people. I've been targeted in the past, so I just shut up. Don't ever shut up. Not while you're watching me. Listen, if you watch me, there's no way you can. Let me not say that, because everybody doesn't have a big, strong personality and opinions like I do. A lot of people are scared to put those out there. But you watch PDP, you watch Sunni. Pretty sure you watch Cash. Everybody, this is Cash's YouTube. You know what Cash stood for. And I've seen a lot of bullying go on Cash's YouTube from insane people. That comment just wrecked my train of thought. I'm just going to be honest. I have to put it up now. Why'd you do that, Kelly? Now I'm thinking about Kelly. I'll figure out where I was going and I'll get back. Cash is king. Sunni, the lady at the beach, the reporter. Oh, yes, I do remember. What's her name? I forgot her name, but she's really awesome. She's the young blonde girl who goes around asking people questions, and she happened to question two men at the beach, and they were scared to give their answer because people are bullies. Oh, here we go. Here's a troll. Hey, Sunni, I'm catching this late, but yes, I agree. Cyberbullying is real, but you put Dems down all the time. Your platform is based on putting Dems down. Caitlin Bennett, thank you, everybody, for reminding me. First of all, you're so out of pocket, because I don't just talk about Dems. I talk about Republicans too. When I speak on those episodes, you guys just so happen to tune out. You are, Tiffany. I'm still waiting to do a show with you. You know what? I would love if you would come on. Can you do that for me? I'm sorry, Russo, because this is a podcast. Can you come on right now and we can have this conversation about cyberbullying? Let's keep it on cyberbullying. I don't bully people. I tell the truth. I tell the truth. Period, point blank. If somebody doesn't like my truth, that's fine. And I said my truth. Look at you guys got me using your words. If somebody doesn't like the truth, then fine. You don't like the truth. But I'm not purposely on here targeting anybody. If anything, I talk about the injustices that we all really face and how we're ignoring it. I call out the BS that's happening. I'm calling out the cyber bullies that get off on making ignorant comments. I'm talking about it because nobody else is talking about it. Democrats aren't talking about it. When's the last time you heard Democrats talk about a bully? They are the bullies. You can't say anything. And now I guess I'm going to get into it. You can't have an opinion in 2021. I can't get on here and say what I want to say in 2021 because you know who's coming after me? Big tech. You know who's coming after me? YouTube. They're going to take away my monetization. They're going to take away the form of me making money, telling the truth. That's bullying. Of course, you're not going to respond now. Hey, do some research. You're an idiot. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. You're an orange cult. Thank you. Thank you. I'm ready and willing to have that conversation, but she won't ever have it with me. You won't ever have it with me. And you've been invited several times. So let's get back on topic. Bullying is when you resort to name calling. It absolutely is. I had some videos up of bullying, but I don't know what happened to them. So my internet just did what it did. Tech is a sometimes. So here's what I have. I'm going to compare the bullying that Tiffany says that I do versus the bullying that really happens to conservatives. Okay? The left claims to be the party of love and tolerance. I'm here. Let's chat. Somebody send her the link. Send her the link. Casey, are you watching on YouTube? If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to drop the link in your inbox right now. That's bullying. Don't do that. Don't do that. She's not a 10-year-old boy. She's a woman. Like immature, stupid comments like that. Don't do that. I'm going to get back to this list, but I want to make sure she can have the link just in case she wants to come on. What up? We are all about unity. That's what Cash believed in. That's mainly why I'm doing this on Cash's show on his platform, because he believed in unity. He didn't believe in people getting on here talking down to other people because they're talking about something you don't want to hear about. Oh, I'm checking you. If you tuned into his show, there was hardly anybody in the comments except for a troll saying something ignorant. But now that he's not here, and the people that he trusts to take over his platform, because we're continuing the same, some of the viewers, I'm calling you out. You say ignorant stuff every time we get on here. Every time. If it's not something you want to hear. And that's not what Cash stood for. He didn't stand on that. He didn't believe in bullying. He didn't care who you were. I'm calling you out today. Where is your name, Casey? I don't think I'm going to upload this to the podcast. I think I'm just going to leave this as a special show. Casey. Okay, thank you, Casey. I'm sending it to you now. It should be coming. Unless Facebook is... No, you should have it in your inbox now. He would make them go viral. Facts. Thank you for giving me hearts. I appreciate the love. You got it? Okay. I have been bullied all my life, and it brought me to depression, almost suicide. I wrote an essay in a college, and I got a 4. Wow. Make America Think Again. I'm sorry to hear your experience, Viola. I hope that you are enjoying this show, and I hope that me calling attention to stuff that's actually happening on the internet, there's bullying and there's also cyberbullying. If you finish an interaction with another human being and you leave them less empowered, you advise them. I don't know what that means. Bullying is what the left does when they call people racist, homophobic when you don't agree with them. Facts. She doesn't see a link, Casey. Can we get it posted one more time? Thank you for putting me back on topic. When you don't agree with the left, this is the group of people that claim to be loving and tolerant of all. They want you to accept everything. But when you have a fair argument and a fair question, or a fair and very logical, solid reason why you don't agree, you're instantly the scum of the earth. Instantly. There's not even room for you to maybe to be able to have a conversation. I'm not saying all, but some. Like I said, the ability to respectfully disagree. The left doesn't have it. You're called a terrorist or a Trump supporter. Or you know what else you're called? A Q. You support Q. Is the link supposed to be in this chat? Yes, it should be in there. I didn't see it pop up either. I'm looking for it and I don't see it at all. Let me see. Pretty much anything you disagree with anybody on the left on, you're a racist. If you're white, if you're black and you disagree, you how do you say it? You support white supremacy. Let's just call a spade a spade. Hot Mike. I just dropped the link in there under my name, Hot Mike. I should see it popping up, but I don't see it pop up at all. I haven't seen the link yet. Tiffany, what's your email? Aren't you on Instagram? Send me an Instagram message right now. And I'm going to send you the link because it won't let me post it. I don't know why. Where's my phone? If you're black, you lose your black card. Yes. You ain't black no more if you don't agree with them. It's hard out here, man. Okay. YouTube is playing some funny games. Yeah, he is. Are you still here? It's hard out here for a pimp. Are you still here, Tiffany? If you're still here, Send me an IG message because I don't remember your IG name. I'm going to be really honest. If you wrote me on there, I can't remember your name. 5. Okay, there she is. Okay, I'm going to drop it to you. Hold on. I like conversations like these. I like being able to talk to people. And watch, she's going to be shocked at the interaction we have. It's right there. You should have it right now. You're either a fascist or a racist. Facts, man. It's hard. What are biracial kids supposed to think? Are they supposed to pick a color? It's gotten ridiculous. I know a lot of my husband's biracial, and he's had the same sentiments that you just said. You're either not black enough or you're not white enough. There's a lot of peer pressure, bullying that goes on, and people just turned a blind eye to it. You know, kind of like people do on the internet. Well, people said something to you. Somebody said this or somebody said that. Well, just ignore it. You know, a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't ignore it. And it's called cyberbullying, and it's a real thing. Whites are racist at birth. Does that not sound like bullying? Like the fact that white people get these comments on their post when they do a live, you know, in this case, we're talking about Kaylee. Is that not bullying? I don't get it. No, he wasn't calling you a racist. He was saying that that's what people say about you. It's rude. It's crazy. I'm waiting on Tiffany. I sent her the link and she's seen it, so she should be hopping on here soon. He always would say he's a African, yo. Oh, okay, she's here. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to be put up here. I don't want to put you up here abruptly. Okay. She got a thumbs up. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Look, I'm totally nice, bro. Like I promise you, we probably feel the same way. We just have different ways of expressing it.
Okay.
So you said I use this platform to down Democrats.
Yeah. First of all, how do I see the comments? Because I don't.
The
how
comments.
do I see
You're on your phone.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the comments, you won't be able to see the screen. You should see it at the bottom. It should say comments, and you should see a private chat.
All right.
But everybody's saying hi. I'll be pulling them up on the screen so you can see them. See, they're all happy to see you. They're not going to bash you.
We'll see. Because there's a lot of people that went in on me a few times, so we'll see.
Okay. I'm going to give you the opportunity to say your piece, and then I'll respond. So go ahead.
No, I'll have you start because you started the conversation, and my comment to you was about you always talking about Democrats. You're always talking about the other side. Honestly, I hardly ever hear you say anything bad about Republicans, about Donald Trump, about anything. It's always Joe Biden. It's always this. It's always Black Lives Matter. That's a whole nother situation that we'll get into on another note. As far as cyberbullying, it's always, you always talk bad about Democrats. That's a form of bullying. Like how I used to talk shit about Trump. Yes, that's bullying. How you talk about Biden and his wife and Hunter. That's a form of bullying. Just because we don't know them personally, that's still a form of bullying. And you going in on the Democrats is a form of bullying as well.
Okay.
That's my opinion on that right now.
Okay. So here's my question, and I'm going to respond. What have I said about Joe or the Democrats that aren't true?
A lot of things. And then let me explain. Because you're on your show, where you getting your research from or your statistics, honestly, can't be proven. Just like if I say Joe Biden is gay, if I just got that from some media, how do I know that's true? So the things that you say, how are you sure that that is true? You're basing your assumption off of an opinion because you can't confirm what you're saying are facts. Because a lot of this stuff, since we're not in the government, we're not next to the president, we're not involved in politics, we cannot confirm or deny if those things are true.
Can you give me something specific so I can like speak to that specifically?
All right, let me think. It's so much.
Is it a lot?
You're always
Okay.
saying like Democrats are this or Joe Biden is this, but it's like, how do you know? Just like if I say Trump doesn't like women or doesn't like black people, I can't confirm or deny if that's true because I don't know the man personally.
Okay.
And you guys on this show giving all these statistics and about the army and whites and racism. Like, you don't know if that's true.
Okay. So when I talk about Joe, I mainly speak to his comments that he says himself. And I will pull from, comments he's made back in the day. And I do openly call him a racist because he has directly given me and the rest of the country reasons to come up to that assumption. When you say that black people aren't smart enough to go get an ID or use computers, I have a problem with that. When you say that black people, they're not diverse in thought, Spanish people are better with that, I got an issue. These are all things that are right here at our fingertips. He says it live. The latest thing that he really did that really pissed me off, I don't agree with Black Lives Matter at all, but you know what? I had their back for months. Joe Biden, when are you going to talk to BLM? Why are they having to go weeks, months, days, and you don't say anything to them? And you used BLM to get elected. Because let's be real, 96% of the women in Georgia were black and they voted for Biden.
Right.
That's real. So why would you then slap them all in the face and say, screw you, I'll talk to you when I'm ready, which is what he said. Then you have civil rights leaders where you're screaming, hollering, and yelling at them, being beyond disrespectful. And everybody else is just like, la-di-da, no big deal. And the coon, the sellout, is the one that's like, that's disrespectful as hell. Why y'all letting him do that to you?
Now that is true. Now that he has not said anything about Black Lives Matter, because at the end of the day, black people is what got him in this position he's in now.
Facts. And what has he given black people? His ass to kiss. He ain't even gave him that. He gave him a brick wall.
I mean, he hasn't given really anybody anything, really. I mean, what's taken over is this whole coronavirus, the whole vaccine, these stimulus packages. That's the only thing really that's really been focused. And now he's doing something at the border, but like he hasn't really done anything for the people right now.
Which is why I'm so critical of him and the Democratic Party, because they don't provide for the people.
Well, not all. No, a lot of times they are. A lot of Republicans too are giving him a hard time.
I don't like Republicans either. Just by the way, I don't like Republicans. I talk about rhinos all the time.
I mean, none of the Republicans voted for this stimulus bill to help the people anyway.
Okay. So since you said that, I'm going to ask you this question, because you said, well, your statistics is not necessarily true. Well, how do you know? You said, how do I know? How much was this? Do you know how much the stimulus package, the total package, how much it was that went out? Do you remember the number?
1.9
If not, I'll pull
trillion.
it up. 1.9 trillion. Do you know how much of it went to the American people?
Only a small percentage of it went to the people directly with indirect checks, but there's a lot of it went to programs as well, like the small businesses, the eviction thing. You know, there's a lot of programs out there that, you know, because I don't really read all, like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, oh yeah, I read the whole entire bill. No,
nobody does.
because at the end of the day, I don't get a stimulus check. You know, me and my family, we don't get it, so it doesn't really affect us. Because me being married, we just make too much. But the point is, not a lot of it went to the American people. More of it should have went to the American people. That I agree.
So 5% of it went to the American people. And when I say the American people, I'm talking about the state. I'm talking about the schools. I'm talking about, the state and not welfare, but the state and unemployment is kind of one and the same. So we get, as the American people directly, we get less than 1%. The rest of it, the 4%, went to state and everywhere else. You have to apply to even be able to touch that money. I did a survey, and I said, I want all small business owners. How many of you were able to qualify and apply for the stimulus? I'm going to be honest, a bunch of no's and a few stragglers that gave me a yes. Who are these people
you're asking?
These are Black business owners, because I'm on Instagram as well. These are white business owners. They're all small businesses, all of them. And I'm going to say over half of them don't even qualify to get the stimulus package designated for small businesses, because they put a bunch of, this is why it's important to read it. So here, this is my challenge for you. The next stimulus is coming out. It's $2 trillion. It's for an infrastructure plan, which is supposed to help America. When it comes out, there's a table of contents. Find something that's super important to you that you think the American people should have, and tell me where you find it in the bill. It'll show you. It'll tell you what each section is talking about. And you might have to read it to pull some stuff out. But the reason I'm so critical is because they're not doing anything for America. They say, well, we're giving it to the state. How many people like you and me can't apply with the state to get help? And then we're all asked out. Like you just said, I can't even get a stimulus check. So where's your relief? Because one day you might fall on hard times. You can't go to your state. You can't expect the Fed to give you anything, and you're asked out. That's middle class America. You represent that.
Right.
I speak for those people, because we're getting screwed. I don't care what party it is. I really don't.
Yeah.
I like
Trump. All three stimulus.
Right. I like Trump, and I have my reasons. I don't expect everybody to like him. That's cool. I can respect that 100%. But when you are doing nothing that's pro-America, when you completely stop jobs, you know, we were completely oil independent. We're putting a stop to it. That slashed over 80,000 jobs. And those jobs are not coming back. You know what those people have to do? Go file for unemployment that they might not qualify for. So who's really getting the shit end of the stick? It's Americans.
Yep. And plus, even if you did get even if I would have got the $1,400 for a family, or for one person that actually isn't over 18, doesn't do anything. Like $1,400 don't even pay my mortgage.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So $1,400 for these people, like, I feel horrible, because it's like, you know, people need this money, and then all these people with these kids, it's like, this is not enough. These are one-time checks that it takes every 6 months. You can't live off of that. Like my brother, he's married with 4 kids. He's getting money, you know, but it's like, how is that fair for you to get $9,000-$10,000 when you're working? Like, I don't agree. Like, he's still working. Him and his wife they never got laid off. They're still working. Their kids are good. Yet they getting $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 3 times. You know, now that I don't agree with.
I feel the same way you do. On this topic, we agree. I'm
We
so
agree.
I'm so hard on the Democrat Party because a lot of their policies, back in history, if we want to go all the way back, we can pull history. We can talk about FDR. We could talk about LBJ. All of their policies rendered us completely helpless as Black people.
Mm-hmm.
They took jobs from us and then they threw the state in. I don't like that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that. Hurts my heart because we're still seeing the effects of it now. So if I can use my platform to look, this is what's going on, and people don't take the time to actually listen to what I'm saying. They don't take the time to go read it. They just hear you're against the Democrat Party, and a whole lot of us that grew up Black. Okay, I'm the statistic. I came from a single parent home. My dad wasn't in the picture. All of my aunts are the head of their household. I never saw a strong male figure. Never. It's real and it's happening. Why can't we talk about it? That's the only issue I have. If I could sit down and talk to BLM, I guarantee you at some point in the conversation they would vibe with what I'm saying, because I'm not against Black people. I love Black people, but I want Black people to wake up and see. That's it.
But you have to hear yourself, because this is how I started hearing you when the whole George Floyd thing came out. And I'm like, and I was hearing what you saying. I'm like, to me, I'm like, how is this Black person against Black Lives Matter? Because at the end of the day, your life matters just as rest as any other life matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not perfect. They would never be perfect. But the main objective of BLM is to bring light to other people that's not Black, that Black Lives Matter, that we should get jobs. We should have a chance at a better education. We shouldn't be hunted by police, unarmed Black men being killed at the hands of mostly white police officers, because Black people are not treated the same. And you won't agree with me with this. Black people are not treated the same as whites, Asians, Indians, some Latinos. Because just a couple weeks ago, this is what got me. You said that there's no racism. You don't think there's systemic racism?
No.
Yes.
I don't. If it's systemic, wouldn't it affect all of us? And that's not taken away from everybody that may affect effed up system, because is the system messed up? Yes. You will never hear me say it's not. Do they have things targeted towards Black people? Yes. You will never hear me say that those things don't exist. But I believe that we have a choice in the matter, because I had a choice. I could have went two different ways. I could have stayed feeling bad for myself. Oh, the world sucks. I can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you see me here today. I don't make excuses for myself. If something doesn't go my way, I'm just like, okay, where did I mess up? I don't think, okay, they're treating me this way because I'm Black. It's like, okay, where did I mess up? Did I come off wrong here? Did I say something wrong here? And I hear you guys when you say, bro, you constantly talk about Black people, but you don't do it in a positive light. So I'm like, you know what? Let me tailor my message. Let me let you know I hear your concerns. I know that there are programs and systems set up against us, but do we have to fall into that? No, because we all have a choice in the matter. Some of us don't.
Right. Now, let's talk about the ones that don't, because you and I, we went the right way. I guess you can call it the right way. But let's talk about as a whole, the majority of Black and brown, I'm talking about Latinos too, who just can't get, I guess, over that hump where they're in the hood, their dad is nowhere to be found, their mother is doing whatever or being raised by a single mother, and the streets is raising them. Now, how, if that person that was brought up in the hood does everything right, went to school, played football, played basketball, graduated, and still can't get no job, and then end up back in the hood selling drugs, doing stuff in the hood that people do. And they did everything right growing up. But because they was living in the hood, because they didn't have resources like the Boys and the Girls Clubs or nice parks, pools, when you don't have resources, because in the hood, there's not good resources. Now, you have to agree with me. The resources in the hoods are not like in a nice neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
I agree with you.
What are those people that can't afford to go to the next neighborhood or go to a middle class neighborhood? What are those little boys and girls supposed to do in the summertime when they're out of school, their parents are working and they can't go to the next neighborhood that's above them? What are they supposed to do?
That's where people like me. That's where people like me step up, because I know why those neighborhoods are the way they are. We have to talk about who's the mayor, who's the governor, who's the city commissioner, who's on the city council, what are they doing? And like, here, this is my challenge to you. Look at Chicago, look at Maryland, look at Philly. Okay. Look at their inner cities, the crime rates, and then tell me who is in operation there. Who is running the show? Because it's not Republican policies. This is what I mean. I don't think Republicans are any prize. No. I think that Democrats purposely target Black people because in those same places that we're talking about that don't have outlets, they don't have anything, they're all ran by Democrats.
You think Republicans can change it?
I don't think. Look, so when I say Republican, I identify with their policies. I'm not a big party person. I can never vote Democrat because I don't agree with anything they believe in morally. I just don't. I don't have anything against them. I just don't agree. Black for over 50 years. Democrat, Black leaders. And it's still shitty. Why?
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you really think, okay, let's talk about Philly. If you think Philly had a Republican mayor who runs the city of Philadelphia, you think if they changed the quote unquote policies to the Republican way, you think that's inner city will change?
I won't say Republican. I think it needs to be bipartisan, but heavily conservative with like, look, I'm going to hold you accountable, but I'm going to help you. So here's an opportunity. Yes, absolutely. I've seen it. I've been to a bunch of different cities. I've seen different places. I've grown up in one of the poorest cities now in the US, Erie, Pennsylvania. It's been ran Democrat forever. We've never had a Republican because people just don't vote Republican there. We've never given it a chance. That's honestly, I'm gonna tell you why I respected Trump. And I might play the video. He did something. He asked a question to Black folks that nobody ever asked. Politicians get up there and they expect our vote every 4 years because that's just how Black folks vote. We vote Democrat. They expect it. They don't give. They don't really give us anything. Never. It's like they don't really give opportunities. He went to Detroit and Flint, where Obama went and pretended to drink the water to relate to people that turned Black people off. He went there and he said, "You have been losing. These policies are killing you. Your young men are dying. You don't have jobs. What do you have to lose to try me? What do you have to lose? Give me a chance and let me show you what I can present." He gave opportunity zones to these inner cities that we're talking about, which means they have a greater chance of opening businesses there, which creates jobs for them, which brings the money to even build up those inner cities. They don't pay attention.
Did any of that happen?
Yes. Senator Tim Scott and Trump got together, and I forgot his name. He's a Democrat and he couldn't stand Trump, but they worked together on this. And they had several opportunity zones all across the US and these at-risk communities. I would never lie to you. Trump is a man. Okay. He's subject to error. If he ever did anything, I would say fuck Trump too. But I would never get on here and say something that's not true. And this is nothing that you can't go look at yourself. Here's the next question. BLM got $100 million in donations. How much of that went back to the Black community?
I don't know.
We still got Black men dying every day. I still have to do a show where I talk about a young Black man dead for nothing. I got to talk about Black children dying in those inner cities that are at risk for nothing. And where is BLM? I had a young girl's family. Her name is Dejory Wilson. She was the latest one that was killed in Chicago, just driving in her car. BLM wouldn't even talk to her family. That angers me more.
So are you expecting BLM to talk to every Black and brown person that died or help every Black and brown community?
When they pop up for every Black and brown person that's been killed by a cop, and you say Black Lives Matter, but completely ignore the real issue that's happening, which are gangs, killing, shooting. Right. Mm-hmm. They completely ignore that. So how can you say you're for Black lives? Which Black lives are you for? The ones that get televised? The ones that fit your narrative? The white people are killing us. White people ain't in the hood doing that. That's my issue with them. They're not real. That's not genuine. That's not transparent. You're showing me you only care about a certain demographic of Black folks, and that's if you've been killed by a white cop. That's it. You got 100 million and you ain't gave none of it to the people that you so claim to care about. None of it.
And that's all speculation. Can you prove that?
Sure. I will put, you're on Instagram. I am going to tag you in every piece of evidence that I have. Okay.
Now, BLM, facts. I want facts.
Sure. Matter of fact, damn, where's Blake at? I wasn't prepared for this. Let me pull this up. BLM is an Act Blue organization. And this was exposed a while ago. They are a DNC donation group. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they accept donations, but they accept it through the Act Blue organization. So all the money that you donated, all the money that all these people donated, they donated to the Democrat Party. And we don't know exactly how much went to BLM. We just know in total, they got 100 million. If it's for Black lives, why is the DNC profiting?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. I'm telling you, I care. I don't mince my words. I'm not going to pretend like shit is sweet with the Dems when it ain't. I'm not going to act like
no one's perfect. No one's perfect.
Does anybody have that link? I have not looked at this in so long. Got to prove that I'm a human.
Hold on.
Huh?
Hold on.
Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned. I know this is longer than normal, but these are conversations that need to happen, and I'm glad she was willing to finally come on here and talk to me.
Yeah, but we have to have a time where we can start to finish, because you said something about the George Floyd thing that we gotta have a whole conversation about that.
I don't think George Floyd should have been killed. I think that Derek Chauvin needs to definitely be fired. I think he should have been fired a long time ago. How he was still operating on the job is beyond me. I also know that George Floyd did a lot of things to contribute. Does that mean that he should have died? No. But you had how many drugs in your system? And that's not saying that he's a drug addict. And that's not saying that he's less of a person. That's saying, let's put everything together. Let's put all the pieces of the puzzle together and look at it all put together.
Right.
Did you kill him
because being on drugs had nothing to do with this. That's the problem. Everybody's bringing out all his past, all of this. Him having a knee on his neck. I'm a nurse. him having a knee, a man that's probably close to 200 pounds, has nothing to do with him being black, has nothing to do with him being drugs, had nothing to do with if he was a diabetic, if he had cancer. That has nothing to do with that cop was wrong, wrong, wrong. But everybody want to bring up his past. Even I listened to the trial. Everybody wants to talk about his past and this. That doesn't really matter. But that's the thing. It's not all the pieces of the puzzle. Those pieces of the puzzle should not even matter.
It contributes to what happened that day.
No.
That wasn't like he did drugs 6 days ago and somebody brought it up like he didn't do it that day.
Okay, so what if he didn't have any drugs in his system, still died the same way?
I don't think he would have been dead at all.
Okay. That is true. You're on, first of all, hold on. You cannot have somebody on your neck crushing your airway for a long period of time. Anybody would die. The healthiest person, the fattest person, you will die. You will die. No matter how healthy you are. You're obstructing someone's airway, and he's laying on his side. So his lungs cannot open and close.
I don't think they should have been on him. Like, nobody disagrees there. I don't think.
But you're bringing about that he was drugs. But
because
just because
he was highly
drugs does not matter.
He was high. It would be the same if this man was white. I don't care that he's black. If he was white and Derek Chauvin was black, or Derek Chauvin was white, and I noticed that this man had a lot of drugs in his system, I would have the same exact commentary. It has nothing to do with George Floyd being black. I don't
think so. That I would
How
disagree.
can you tell me that? I'm me.
No, I know, and I'm disagreeing with you.
I would have the same sentiments. I don't care that he's black. I care that you had meth in your system, and this is at the time of testing at the hospital. He had meth in his blood system. He had cocaine. He had fentanyl, morphine, weed, alcohol. You're telling me all those things combined is not going to affect his health, especially with all those cops sitting on him? That contributed. Yes. And Derek Chauvin should be held accountable, but I'm not going to label this man racist. I don't know him. That means something to me. When I call you racist, it's because I know for a fact you don't give a fuck about black people. And Joe Biden doesn't give a fuck about black people.
And Trump does?
Trump is the only president to come in and try to fix the 94 crime bill. And he did that with the help of Democrats. Democrats helped him author the First Step Act. What other president came in and tried to undo the 94 crime bill, which locks black men up unjustly for long amounts of years?
Mm-hmm.
Trump did that. You don't have to like him. If you think Trump is racist, I respect how you feel. But he actually came in and did something. Kamala Harris did nothing. They have not done anything for black folks, and they've been in office for 3 months. You know who's getting attention? Trans, immigrants, and foreign policy. When do black people stop being the political chumps and demand, yo, if I'm putting my vote behind you, you're going to do what the frick you said when you got in office?
No, yeah, that I agree.
He's not doing anything. Trump is he's the only president. I'm not even going to give Obama that credit. And I voted for him twice. Twice. What did you do to help black people? What did you do to help those inner cities? Nothing.
Honestly, none of them. Even mayors in your city, from state to federal, nobody does anything for the American people. At the end of the day, this is a business, and that's what Republicans stand for, is business, making money, and Democrats stand for helping the people, which none of them, Republicans nor Democrats, will do anything for the American people. I mean, homeless is like beyond high. And we're not even going to get into medicine. Like, I'm in the medical field, so that's a whole nother story. But they don't do anything for none of us. We pay all these taxes, we vote, and they still don't do anything for us. The whole system is rigged. The whole system is not working. It's a failure. And that goes for Nancy. It goes for Kamala. It goes for all of them. It goes for all of them.
That's what I do.
And it's getting worse.
If me saying I'm tired of you using my skin color to push forth pieces of legislation, I'm tired of you using the Civil Rights Act to push forth pieces of legislation that have nothing to do with Black people. If me calling you out for that, if me saying, hello, our house is on fire, and you looking at the neighbor down the street because we're killing our own. These boys don't have an outlet. If me calling attention to that and saying, BLM, get to the side because you ain't helping. Let people step up that want to step up and do something. A lot of Black conservatives catch so much heat for nothing because we all have these sentiments of when are we going to start doing? I'm tired of hearing about slavery. What are we doing now? You know what I'm doing? Thank you. Thank you for bearing that burden so I didn't have to. Thank you for fighting for my rights so that I can keep pushing because we've fallen apart. We have fallen apart. It makes me sad to look at the state of the Black community. It does. And I'm going to fight to make that stuff heard. So if that's cyberbullying, then I'm a cyber bully. I'll take that title on, but I'm going to keep holding I'm going to keep putting my foot on their neck and asking, what are you doing? Because I'm 30. I watched my hometown turn to dirt. We went from producing top tier athletes to being reduced to one high school in the entire city, one middle school, one elementary school, and a high school is attached to a booking agency, to a booking precinct. That's fucked up. But you got every other community built up.
Yep.
Oh,
I know.
I'm gonna call it out. And I can't blame Republicans for what's happening in Pennsylvania because I can't blame them for what's happening in Erie because they don't run Erie. Democrats do. Those are my only issues. If they would actually do something, SUNY wouldn't have a platform because I wouldn't have shit to talk about. But you give me something to talk about every day when you shell out trillions of dollars and you giving 5% of it to the American people and 92% to foreign policy, and then you keep some for yourself. I can't be silent with that. I
agree.
I have to call it out, and that's why I started this. That's why I'm like, can you think, America? Can we just think for a second? Can we stop the feelings? Can we stop? The majority of Black and white folks in this country are good people. Good people that just want to work and provide for their families. But you have the loudest, most negative minority group, and I'm talking about white, Black, Asian, that have no clue what's going on with life, speaking for the collective. And I think it's time that we step up and call it out because nobody's going to do that for us. So if I got to fall on a knife, you want to call me a coon? Not you. People, go ahead, call me a coon. Thank you. Call me Uncle Tom. Thank you, because I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I respect you. I go back and forth in the comments because I think it's fun. I'm like, oh, here go the troll. I think this is fun. I like interacting with trolls. I will invite you on. Come talk to me. Because I can guarantee you won't leave the same way you come in. Like the same way you felt coming in, you're not going to leave that way because my intentions are pure. I love Americans. I love the Black community. And I'm going to call it out. We need to be held accountable for some stuff. It can't, everything just can't be, it's because I'm Black. No, some things we do to ourselves. And some things we need to just go ahead and admit, like, I fucked up, and that's it.
Yeah, but when you're born and You're born black. There's already one strike against you. I don't care. It's always one strike. That we can talk about that another time, but a lot of it, yes, it's because you're black. I'm like me. I can honestly say, like in the workforce, I've never been discriminated against.
Hmm.
I'm a nurse. I've been, whatever that I've been given opportunities. But just because I've been given opportunity doesn't mean the next black person like you have been given the same opportunities as well. Now that's the issue that I have with you because you haven't experienced systemic racism. You make it seem like it doesn't exist, but I'm telling you, it does.
I agreed with you there. I said there's systems set in place, but what I said was we have a choice. Not everybody, but for the people that don't have a choice. So you and I, we had the opportunity to not suffer that same fate. Why would I not go back and bring you out and tell you you don't have to do that? There's another way. You don't have to go apply with the state. It's a grind, bro. It sucks when you got to work that minimum wage, but work your ass off. And if that job ain't giving you what you need, take your talents elsewhere. Go get a trade. I know that there's systems set in place, but I also know that we have a choice. We do, or else I would be suffering the same fate as every black person in this country. That's all I'm saying.
But it's never all. It's never like not all. It's never all. So all black folks are not treated, are not, racist, are not treated unfairly. But a lot of black people, especially in those urban communities, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's a completely different reality. I had a guy, this guy named Darren. He was straight up Democrat. He grew up in the hood. He was born as a crack baby. His brothers, his sisters, they were all born into what we're talking about. He had the question eventually, what's going on? How did we get here? What's happening? He had that conversation with himself and he never looked back. He said, I can change this. I don't have to do this. It might be a little bit harder, but there are people out here that will help me if I want to help myself. So if he can come from that, like total poverty, like straight up the statistic for real, how can't we all do that? He did it. He's running for city council in Texas. He's doing something to help his community. That's what Malcolm X called us to do. He was critical on black people. Stop being chumps. You vote for the same people and they ain't giving you nothing. Yeah. I'm saying the exact same thing. You vote for the same people and they're giving you nothing. What do you have to lose? Try something different. Repeating the same thing is insanity. That's all I want. And yes, we all know, relax. It affects every community, but we can't act like a lot of these things aren't targeted towards black folks because it is. You see it on the TV. You see it when Dr. Fauci gets on TV. Go get this vaccine. Look, I got a black doctor here to make you feel better about taking it. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get all these black celebrities. Go get vaccinated. They don't care about you.
They don't. No, they don't. I mean, it's the same that's the same in the medical field. These doctors, they don't care about you. They don't care if you live or die. At the end of the day, they're going to get paid regardless. Like I work in a cancer center. I give chemotherapy every day. At the end of the day, these pharmaceutical companies can make a drug that can cure cancer, but they won't because A, they don't care about you, and B, they're only in it to make money, and they're making billions and trillions of dollars. And these doctors, like I work with them every day. You can hear them. They honestly don't care about you suffering, getting an 8-hour cancer treatment. And they know it's killing your cells in the inside. It's making you sick. They don't care. They still going to feed you that chemo. They still going to feed you those drugs just so they can get paid. They get paid for every visit from the insurance. And they charge these insurance companies a lot of money. Whether you live or die, they're going to get paid. Every time they see you, they get paid because we're going to bill your insurance. Every time you get a needle stick, we bill for that. So these people are getting money. So at the end of the day, all this is just all about the dollar. That is the root to all evil is money.
Facts. See, everybody appreciates you even coming on here talking. There's been point in times where they have agreed with everything you've said.
Yeah.
Conservatives are very loving people. Not all of them, because you got some that are far right. And I talk about them too. I make fun of Q and people get mad at me. So I give it to people. I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you the business and anybody else who need it. I don't care who you are. You could be Mexican. If it's black people, I'm going to give you the work. I give white people to work, especially the ignorant white people that come in my comment section. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. I want good for everybody. But I also want people to understand that accountability goes a long way. And everything that you ask for, I'm going to get you the information.
Okay.
I'm going to get it to you. I appreciate you coming on and talking. I really do.
Now, one more question, and this is it.
Okay.
Did you or would you get the vaccine?
Nope.
You won't get it and you didn't get it?
No. I have never gotten it and I won't get it.
Now, explain why. Why you would, as a black woman?
Because there's no testing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough information about it. And because I'm a healthy 30-year-old woman, I can recover from COVID. And COVID, the vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting it. It doesn't prevent you from spreading it. They say it lessens your symptoms. Who knows if it actually does that? It's just too much unknown.
Exactly.
I can't. I can't.
100%. Same way.
Yep.
And I see it every day. I mean,
it's unfortunate.
I've been on COVID floors, I've seen it, but for me being a black woman, there's not enough research, not enough data. What do we put in our bodies? How often do you have to get this? Do you got to get this vaccine once a year? Is it every 10 years? Is it once in a lifetime? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Facts. So, and there's not enough info.
Exactly.
But, my buddy Russo, there's a show called, if you're free, there's a show called Truth to Set You Free. And we're going to be talking about, we dedicated an episode to Trump, 45, and this is our 46th episode. So we're going to dedicate it to Biden. We can never get people that can maybe tell something positive that he's done, because I'm not biased. If he did something good, I give him his props, but I don't see it. So we wanted to extend the invite to you to come and participate in that show. If you have anything to bring to it, I just want you to know that it's there. You're always welcome on this platform. You're always welcome on Hot Mic. Bring other people, because I think we need to talk as people, because we agreed to a lot. There's things that we disagree on, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the end goal, at least I hope you can see that my intentions are pure, and I love black people. I just wake up a little bit.
I hear you.
Just think a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and it wasn't disrespectful. We can agree and disagree, and it wasn't rude. Wasn't just calling each other names and cursing at each other. So we can talk as two adults, and we'll definitely do this again. But I get these alerts on YouTube when I'm off of work. I try to listen most of the time. Sometimes you piss me off, and I gotta get off. But especially that Blake, that Blake. He gets me. That Blake gets me, boy.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Everybody liked the show. If you're interested tomorrow, just hit me up. You can hit me up in the inbox. And thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate it. All right,
thank you for having me. Everybody have a good night.
You see, I appreciate her coming on and having that conversation, because it's needed. And I went long over. But to get back to the topic that really matters, cyberbullying is a thing. Okay, and we need to stop it. We have to stop it. You need to be able to listen to people, respectfully disagree, and move on. That's what life is. So thank you for tuning in to Make America Think Again. I'm going to have 2 special shows that won't be on Monday. Okay? I'm going to have Bevelyn Beatty on, and I'm going to have King Randall come on. He is the young man who started his own school. He's working on making it a full-fledged school. And everybody knows who Bevelyn Beatty is. She is the GOAT that goes around destroying BLM murals, hollering Jesus Lives Matter. So thank you all for tuning in. Be looking for those updates. I will be posting promos for it soon. I appreciate you all. I'm out of here.